If you're ready for the next step in your career, or you want to be ready when the time comes, start thinking about how you approach your job every day so you can jump on the next opportunity for growth. The main advice I have for you is for you to welcome to the startup channel. Just a little disclaimer that side effects may include learning, growing, and achieving. In today's video, I want to talk to those of you who are ready to get promoted at work, even though you may be in a position that doesn't necessarily offer room for growth. For example, secretaries, administrative assistants, or any other office position where you don't really see how you can move up in your company, either because someone told you or because of your education or experience level. If that is you, keep on watching. Most professionals in any field are pretty much ready for the next step in their career right around the 3-year mark. For some, it may be sooner, but on average, that's the mark right there. So you're thinking to yourself, hey, what's my next career move? I'm totally capable of doing what the higher paid people are doing. Or you say to yourself, how can I be in a position of leadership or management? You may have heard that in your current position, there isn't any room for growth. Maybe you heard it during your interview. Maybe you read it somewhere online. You started a new career. Or someone in your current position has told you. Well, let me tell you that during my first interview, when I became an administrative assistant, they told me that. And since that interview, I got promoted. And now, within that same company, I run my own department. Now, imagine if I listened to those voices that said there's no opportunity for growth. I would feel stuck doing the same thing year after year. And for some people, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you clicked on this video, I'm sure that's not you. Let me state the obvious and begin by saying that there is growth opportunities in any field, in any position, regardless of what people say. If you're ready for the next step in your career, or you want to be ready when the time comes, start thinking about how you approach your job every day so you can jump on the next opportunity for growth. The main advice I have for you is for you to focus on becoming a problem solver. And I'm not just talking about handling complaints or answering phones, scheduling meetings or answering emails. That is only the foundation of your job description. That's the problem you're hired to handle. You're expected to do that. Those are the basics, right? You're not just going to do that. You're going to do what most people don't do and go the extra mile. So when you're ready to move up, the opportunity will be there for you. And you will get noticed in your company, trust me. And now you have the opportunity for a higher salary. And look, you look at people in your company right now. You know those are the people that get paid the most, right? If you think about their position, they're paid to solve problems. Maybe they delegate things. Maybe they just sit there and wait for people to come to them for advice. For example, if you are a HR manager, right? You're just dealing with paperwork and problems pretty much all day, but you don't necessarily do the nitty-gritty of that paperwork. You have assistants, you have secretaries or receptionists or whoever's helping you. You're just there getting paid the higher salary to deal with problems and issues that arise, or perhaps hiring. That's also a problem, right? The company needs somebody to come in and work, so they're looking for candidates and hiring people. Here's what I mean by being a problem solver if it's not clear yet. Regardless of which industry your company serves, whether it's the consumer market, healthcare, finance, legal, education, there are current procedures in place at your job that can benefit from your problem solving skills. So make them more efficient and productive. And identify the areas that need improvement. Here's an example. Let's think of the acronym PDF, right? I just made that up. And that stands for processes, daily tasks, or you can call them dailies. And the F stands for forms. Most offices deal with processes, daily tasks, and forms, right? So, okay, Problem solvers improve processes. This can be the way you take messages for your boss or department. Here's a real life example. On my first day as an administrative assistant 10 years ago, I was given a book, one of those books that you write, the message, and there's a yellow copy in the back and you can tear it, and it's usually 3 a page. It was such an inefficient way to take messages, deliver messages, and keep track of the status of those messages. And there was no way to keep a searchable archive of the messages that came in. So right away on my first day, I opened up an Excel sheet. I made a digital version of the message pad, right? I'm copying everything into digital form. I shared the file with my boss at the end of the day through our shared network folder and sent him an email that said, hey, this is today's messages. And this was before Google Drive was popular. And you can make something now on Google Sheets and share easily with your boss on Google Drive to accomplish the same thing. So I took all the messages throughout the day. At the end of the day, I had about 10 messages on that spreadsheet. And if you want a copy of that same template that I made, I'm gonna leave a link down in the description to Google Drive. So if you click on it, it will make a copy of that spreadsheet to your Google Drive, and then you can customize it however you want. So what problem did I solve with creating this spreadsheet? The solution was that now I had a shareable, trackable, and searchable message system that made such a crucial part of my job much more manageable and productive. Secondly, make your daily tasks more efficient. This will make your day go smoother and increase the capacity of your position. If part of your daily tasks involve confirming appointments for emails or phone calls, have a template that you can copy and paste and personalize. This can apply to meeting arrangements or meeting confirmation. For example, you may write something like, thanks for reaching out to our office. So-and-so is available to meet on blank date at blank time. Please let me know if that works for you. Of course, this is something that is very brief and generic, but if that's something you type every day, you might just want to copy that somewhere and have it as a template. So you don't need to type it every day. And last but not least, the last part of our acronym, forms. If your position requires you to process or collect data of any type, whether it's in a doctor's office or an office where you process permits or purchase orders, take the time yourself to fill those forms out, and you will see the inefficiencies of it. Look for ways where you can speed up the information gathering process. Most forms have not been updated for years, sometimes even decades. They can be redundant and ask information over and over, and sometimes the information is not even needed. So take time to revisit those forms, and if you created them yourself in the past, revisit the forms at least once or twice a year. You can even digitalize those forms, allowing users to type right into a PDF, or give them the ability to fill the form out on your website on the page or a Google form. And here's an example. A few months into my administrative assistant job in a school district, I helped a parent fill out a registration form to enroll their child at school. I couldn't believe how repetitive the registration packet was. It must have asked for the child's name and date of birth on at least 8 of the 15 pages. That's right, 15 pages. And although I did not work for the registration department, I reached out to my colleagues that did, and I proposed the idea of updating and revamping the entire registration packet, which included old forms going back 10, 15 years ago that just kept piling up into a packet. In the end, we worked together and we got it down to just 5 pages. And I'm telling you this because regardless of your role or position, you have to deal with forms. And although your department may not be responsible for creating those forms, you can still offer your input to make the process more efficient. Okay, so what do all these things have to do with moving up in your company? And to explain this, I want you to step out of yourself for a second and see things from your supervisor's perspective. Here you have an employee, you, who not only handles but improves processes. They breeze through their tasks and they welcome new responsibilities and improves forms and helps other people out. They take initiative, makes processes more efficient. Now, don't you think that naturally that will be the first person that comes to mind in the eyes of a supervisor whenever there is a new opportunity for growth? So qualify yourself. Don't wait for others to evaluate you. Even though your role was to be just a secretary or an assistant or receptionist, customer service rep, or whatever that position that offered no opportunity for growth was, you need to adopt an innovator's mindset and carry yourself as a problem solver that is obviously ready to outgrow their position. Remember the acronym PDF: processes, daily tasks, and forms. If you have a job that deals with any of those three areas, analyze them and see how you can improve it and see if it doesn't pay off for you. This is a good place to end this video. If you found this information helpful, I ask that you please give the video a thumbs up if you made it to the end, especially, and consider subscribing if you have not subscribed. I see my analytics and it looks like 90% of people that watch this channel are not subscribed, so I would appreciate if you can stick around. Thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you next time.
Direction, I can match perspective. I'm hardwired for catch a small game and I'll play ball. Yeah, I won't let them know that they're rotten on rooting for who you're gonna choose. It's all I want.